It's being referred to as the XRP endless money glitch. What is the true meaning of this? How can you increase your XRP earnings by 8% to 10%? Now let's dissect this in detail. In this video, we will discuss MXRP, the endless money glitch. I received a ton of information and news on this. Let's get started. I examined this because the ETH ecosystem has previously witnessed a highly successful DAT launch. Additionally, we haven't observed yields comparable to this. You will therefore discuss institutional adoption right away, most likely on a large scale. That will undoubtedly put some pressure on XRPL as a whole. Do you believe the ecosystem, XRPL, can manage this, Georgios? The technology is fantastic after all, correct? That's far less expensive than that, as Dennis said. You ought to be able to lower the entrance barrier. Smaller users are possible for many of the protocols we will be introducing. Additionally, XRPL has, I believe, been in operation for 12 years. It is older than Ethereum and is among the oldest chains. Really, you can be sure it will be able to handle the situation. Okay? No. But more significantly, I believe that this was a visionary decision that was fundamentally in line with the XRP system. In the end, while considering the Internet of Value, stablecoins and tokenization are very important to us. And this, in my opinion, is precisely the component that will enable the ecosystem to advance. And we can't wait to collaborate with you. We have the feeling that we are siblings from another universe. Every day, we work on just those things. And in order to make it happen, we have been looking for the right partners for a while. It feels like a match made in heaven, no doubt about it. I believe that some of the dynamics that occurred on Ethereum in the past will recur. Thus, there were no yields on Ethereum at first. Now, you see yields for even stable coins that are incredibly high, don't you? These large yields on stable coins have historically been quite difficult to obtain. On XRPL, we anticipate a similar event. Upon the debut of MXRP, which offers high yields and lending protocols that allow you to obtain loans secured by MXRP. Loans can be made on a variety of assets, and lending rates will increase and eventually converge to either borrower rates or interest rates built into MXRP. Therefore, the high rates and widespread integration of MXRP across DeFi will also increase yields for RLUSD. XRP deposits, including vanilla XRP, into lending protocols and tokenized RWAs. They will now abruptly have yield. As demonstrated by Ethereum, having a high-yielding asset causes the yields on all other assets in the DeFi ecosystem to rise significantly, correct? Therefore, it shouldn't come as a surprise if we begin to see high yields on XRPL for RWAs that don't normally have access to income in the traditional world as this increases. As Dennis stated, we're here to provide all these chances and expand the ecosystem together. And XRPL will be the largest chain for RWAs, absolutely. Okay, I just wanted to talk to you about this. The Endless Money Glitch MXRP was posted by Chad Steengraber. Thus, this is being discussed at a high level. Additionally, XRP sold 2025 structural demand, and minting XRP uses sophisticated tactics and an auto-compounding ecosystem to create XRP demand. A positive feedback loop fortifies XRP and the XRP ledger, increased DeFi integrations, deeper liquidity, MXRP usage, and deeper XRP liquidity. More protocols and capital are drawn to XRP as a result of its success, and integrations with capital market effects bring in further funding. To elaborate a little more, XRP minting users deposit XRP as collateral, and in exchange, they obtain MXRP certificates that have been tokenized to reflect yield and physical claims. Since MXRP can only be generated by locking up XRP, the structural demand minting MXRP fuels ongoing demand for XRP. Therefore, by locking up our XRP, we're reducing the amount of XRP in circulation. Now, if there is enough of these things available and we can lock up enough XRP, you can reduce the amount of circulating supply from 59 billion to about 10 billion or 5 billion, right? We are attempting to reach this point, even if it may be years in the future. We can begin to go into the multi-trillion-dollar market capitalization and introduce all these tokenized assets and value if we can reduce the amount of XRP in circulation to, say, a few billion tokens. At this point, XRP may begin to gain 3 or 4 digits in value. Additionally, some people anticipate that XRP will reach 5 figures in the future, which I think is possible but will take some time. I'm more skeptical about how long it will take, although other people think we can reach 4 digits here quite rapidly. DeFi integration. XRP tokens are used on a number of DeFi services, including market making, lending, liquidity pools, and extra yield. This awakens dormant supply and broadens the use of XRP beyond static holding. In advanced compounding techniques, holders of capital liquidity and auto-compounding can earn up to 6% to 10% annual percentage yield APY while maintaining liquidity. Hyperion and other designated asset managers oversee gains and losses. And the preliminary risk assessment does discuss ongoing push to buy as more people may engage with DeFi. The underlying processes, known as the endless money glitch, create a compounding loop of demand by always requiring the purchase and locking of XRP. Thus, this is simply amazing to witness. According to VET, the entire XRP EVM sidechain is 6.5 million if you have XRP on chain statistics thus far. This is where it starts, on the left. So, if you want to keep track of all this, he's simply sort of pointing you in the right direction. And this is undoubtedly beginning to grow. And now MXRP, here you are. Seeing all of stuff on chain is very extremely cool. Chad also shared this information, Singer's financial authority according to JP Morgan Onyx, Wisdom Tree, Axeler MXRP, and Project Guardian Infrastructure. In an attempt to tie everything together, he is simply illustrating some linkages between it all here. The next stage of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger is revealed by Ripple. I'll simply get right in and cover this stuff. A significant update to its institutional DeFi strategy on the XRP ledger has been released by Ripple. New features targeted at regulatory institutions include a stablecoin volume of over $1 billion per month, sophisticated compliance capabilities, and the impending introduction of a native lending protocol. The purpose of this subsequent stage is to establish XRP as a preeminent blockchain for institutional finance, facilitating use cases including credit markets, structured products, stablecoin payments, and tokenization of real-world assets. Regarding the extension of institutional DeFi, Ripple's roadmap currently incorporates compliance capabilities such as deep freeze for regulatory account freezes, credentials for KYC accreditation proofs, and a simulate for on-chain testing, which is already operational for regulated issuers. Stablecoin growth on the XRP ledger and institutional demand may benefit greatly from this. It appears that Congress is providing us with further details regarding the Clarity Act's potential passage into law. Now let's listen to this latest information. When Donald Trump declared, "We're going to make this country the crypto capital of the world," it really took off. He is going to move everything forward on this new day. He wants business to resume in the United States. As soon as that occurred, that is. In China, Japan, and over the Atlantic, you began to notice things. Each of these nations said, "No, we're going to do it because we're the best. We are and always will be the greatest. We want to be the best." And Donald J. Trump is making sure that everyone knows that. As we began to gather ourselves, not only his executive actions, but also his brilliance and now clarity in legislation. Just keep an eye